Hello, and welcome to my first of a series of videos that you can watch during this COVID crisis, taking a break from being in school. So just kind of keeping you in touch with what's going on. And I'd like to start by sort of approaching this as a review for the year. So let's just imagine we're back at the beginning of the year, just to give us a starting point, and then we'll see where we go from there. You might recall that way back at the end of August, beginning of September, I came into class and I asked you one question. I said, what class is this? And some of you said, well, it's a class in the school. It's Mr. Morgan's class. And I said, yeah, that's true. But what class is it? What's the course? And of course, the smart kids come up with the idea that it's English. Okay, English class. English. And as usual, I'll say, excuse my writing. And then my next question is, well, what is English? Some people say, well, Johnny English, it was a character played by Mr. Bean. Yes, true. English, it's also a type of muffin. But then the smart ones always come up with, what's English? English, English. Ah, it's a language, yes. You win the car. A language. L-A-N-G-U-A-G-E. English is a language. Well, okay, now we're getting somewhere. My next question, of course, is, what is a language? And, of course, kids come up, well, very often the first answer I get is talking. Okay, yeah, there's a starting point. A language does have talking as one element, but it's one amongst others. And, of course, I look around the class, and somebody always comes up with the idea, communication. Ah, love it. 10 points for you, communication. Thanks for that idea, George. Communication. It's a means of communication, a way to communicate. Now, communication, I'll come back to the idea of talking. Yes, talking can be part of communication, but if you just talk by yourself, there's no real communication going on. You have to have somebody on the other end. We're talking about at least two or more people that exchange information amongst or between them. And of course, coming back to the idea of talking, yes, when you talk and you're with other people, it's not just talking that's going on. What are the other people doing? You're talking, what do you do with your ears? Yeah, listening. So there's talking and listening and reacting. Oh, really? I agree. I disagree. That's not a good idea. What we have here is interaction. And we're speaking and listening while interacting. All this together is called oral interaction. Which all of you Quebec students know as the competency number 1 in English, oral interaction. So you're agreeing, disagreeing, listening, speaking, adding comments to other people's ideas, asking questions, responding, so on. All this stuff together is oral interaction. Of course, I'm speaking right now, and there's no interaction going on. I can't hear you. You're probably on your end kind of saying all kinds of comments. I don't know what they are. But another thing that's happening is I'm writing on the board, right? So if I'm writing, what are you doing? Yeah, you're reading. You're reading the words that I'm writing. Now, there are different things you could do with what I'm saying and what I'm writing. You could be taking notes. Maybe you're writing down questions you'd like to ask me later. Perhaps you're taking my ideas and using them for something else. What you are doing, in fact, is reinvesting understanding. Reinvesting understanding, yeah. So you're reading, listening to something, and doing something with it. I could tell you a story, stop at some point, you have to finish the story using what you know. That's an example of reinvesting understanding, and we call that competency 2. Reinvesting understanding. Understanding of texts. This is a text. What I'm saying is a text. This video is a form of a text, believe it or not. And of course, you're understanding what I'm writing. So obviously to understand a text, the text has to be written. So what we call writing and producing text, which is the C3, competency 3 in Quebec. Writing and producing text. Now writing, I'm writing stuff on the board here spontaneously. Producing goes a little further. The fact that I'm actually filming it means I'm doing something with the writing. So I am producing something. Perhaps I will edit this video. Fat chance of that happening, but if I were to add music, perhaps subtitles, I would be adding things to the text, producing it, giving you a more finished version of it. So these are the 3 competencies that we work on all year long. Coming back to what a language is, what do we use with all this stuff? We use words, exactly. Words. I remember when I was in Germany once, first time I'd gone there, I didn't know any German. I had a dictionary. It was late at night. All the restaurants were closed. There was a gas station. So I went into the gas station. I thought, I'm really hungry. What do? I looked up in the dictionary and found the word to eat, essen. So I walked up to the guy at the cash register and said, essen? And I got something to eat. So, a word. I communicated something. I got a reaction from the other person. That's what I wanted. We communicated. I used language to do it. I used a word. But words is kind of a simplification of something that's actually a little more complicated. So in my next video, I'm going to tell you, what do we do with these words? Okay? Have a nice day.